Hold on. Xavier's video appears to be starting to go up.
No, it's okay. All right.
I want it to go off.
We are now back. We are down from technical difficulties. Let me know in the chat how I'm doing. Welcome. I am Colby. I am CoDameron. This is the finals of the 2020 Spring Quarantine Star Wars LCG Tournament. I am Colby. I am CoDameron. I am joined today by Mick, MacRauri. Say hello.
Hello.
We are playing our finals match. This is going to be an untimed best of 5 set. We have two wonderful casters today. We have Kiramode and Haxxson. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
During this cast, they're going to be my eyes and ears. If something goes wrong, they're going to text me and make sure that I know about it, and I will let them know if anything's wrong on my end. But otherwise, Mick and I will be in our own little bubble playing our game. So, please chat. Anyone around, let us know. My internet's a little funky right now. I don't quite know what's going on. Hopefully everything keeps recording. I might do a splice in the middle, but otherwise we're going to get going now. Does anyone have any, are you guys good? Everyone good in my chat? Everyone good here?
I think we're good. I think we're here.
Great. So I'm gonna do this.
We're going to mute and turn off sound on the computer. Okay.
Which side are we playing first? We gotta decide that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do not a choice. Let's do it straight random. All right.
Okay.
I got a light and a dark here, right?
Right.
I'm holding one. Do you want this or should I take it?
I'll take it.
You'll take the light side.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right. So,
Mutes and silences.
Colby and Mick are getting ready to start their first match. They're deciding who's going to play which side randomly, and it looks like we've got Mick starting light side and Colby starting dark side.
Yeah. So, as far as the sides go, this is probably the more even of the two sides. Like Xavier, have you spent a little bit of time looking at their lists?
Yeah, so I'm really familiar with Colby's list because I
don't
talked
want
about
to
him
see
a
the
bunch.
chat,
Less
but I want
so
chat to say whatever they
with
want.
Mix, even
So,
though I did start. I was planning
my
to play
eyes
them,
and
but like
ears
I said,
are Xavier
I didn't quite
and
make the cut.
Kiramode. If something goes wrong, you got to tell me. But I can't see anything about my stream right now.
One sec. I think you should message one of Mick or Colby has their sound on somewhere. In any case, I think that the Colby's light side is pretty heavily favored against Mick's dark side. Because Mick's running the Sith stuff. And if you looked at his matchup against Josh, like he had to play his dark side against Josh's light side 3 times.
For what it's worth, I have
drew fairly well in all 3 games and only squeaked out one of them.
On my stream.
So
because I can't see
he's gonna need probably similar luck, if not better, to beat Colby's light side, and which means is like his light side is gonna have to come through.
They're just gonna text me
in this matchup.
That's all.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Let me take a look.
I could
So
pull this up and do it like this. Okay. Now I can't.
Yeah. So he's got this like
oh man, this is a
nice mix of.
It's fine.
He's got like he's got one of the few like really strong Jedi lists that we saw coming into this tournament, featuring double Heroes Duty, which I'm always surprised by.
Your light and dark.
The double Heroes Duty, it's very strong when Darkseid wants to make their attack push.
That makes sense.
Give me a...
Like because like that's just now Colby's actually not running a whole lot of offensive cards, so we'll see how relevant that becomes. But it's kind of like, hey, I'm swinging Callus plus Tactics, and if you can like steal the Tactics, then being able to like use their Krennic against them defensively, and then get a big crackback's nice. His deck is slower though, so like the no Callus thing could be beneficial for him anyways, just because the likelihood that Colby can just blow him out on a crackback is fairly low.
Right.
But he still doesn't have a ton of blasts himself.
There's that flop. Let me just make sure my OBS.
The interesting thing for Mick, I think, will actually be the Guardians, just because Colby's like one of the few people running 2x Vader.
Yeah.
So that ping damage becomes especially relevant against both Winter and Yoda.
Oh, that's actually interesting because that's not the point I thought you were going to make. I thought you were going to talk about the double Vader means he's bringing double join me, and Guardians are such a big pool. It's like
Oh.
stealing so much extra health from your opponent. Like, what if Vader can't die because he took a Guardian, and now all of that ping damage you're talking about the Guardian's useful for is suddenly just like extra free.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if Mick holds his event cancels because he has 2 event cancels from Yoda plus a C3PO. And like event cancel has been pretty garbage in this card pool, but
Mm-hmm.
this is like the one matchup where it might really matter.
Yeah, I agree. Makes sense.
Let's see what else he has here. I don't love the Chirrut thing, but I don't know. Like
Yeah.
maybe he just wanted a heat.
Yeah, heat's good. Cheer it. I don't know. In the matches I played and in the matches I played, cheer just hadn't been good enough. Like
Yeah, the
I
low
even
money really hurts him. So Colby's flop's really good. Mick's flop is not as good. So Mick's flop, like how good you perceive that flop to be depends on how defensive of a opener he can get. Because he has 2 wall and damaged objectives.
yeah. Yeah, it depends on like what he opens. Like if he opens like Luke Go, then it might be fine just because that's such a greedy thing to fight into and he can hold the force on that. And especially with the 000 open from Colby, that's not setting up any like offensive pressure to turn off those objectives. And especially until you can turn off Hero's Duty, like edge battles become a big challenge for Colby.
Yeah, ideally what you'd have is a tactics. Thinking like if you can go like, okay, well there's a Luke. No money though. Which like makes decks a little bit slower and really needs it. But I mean, if you just say Luke pass, that's not bad. Because
Yeah,
I don't think Colby attacks into him
right,
under
exactly.
almost any circumstance. The only way that like an attack here makes sense is if Mick were to go to the bottom objective and he's holding a heat. That's the only way that an attack would make sense, because then you could blow it up. Because it only has 3 health.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Eventually it's gonna have like 12.
Ooh, pitches Death Trooper. Colby pitches Death Troopers, and I guess only because you have 6 of them, but I think they're good. I'm actually usually really happy to see Death Troopers in my hand.
I think they're good if they're free. I think they're bad otherwise. It depends if you have a trooper you're gonna play. So if he knew he was gonna play Vader, that Death Trooper's not doing anything.
That's true, absolutely.
This is where I think Mick has to be wishing he had a more offensive deck, because that bottom objective only has 3 health, and he's realistically not gonna attack.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Single Emperor's Legion out here not actually being super dangerous for Colby. That is actually one of the ways that I lost my match to get into top 4. Is Thalia brought just enough guns to shoot through my last trooper, and or just enough bombs to get through it if I didn't block.
Yeah, I mean it's a very much a boom or bust objective. As long as you don't get blown out early, like usually if you say, hey, I play 1 trooper turn 1, the likelihood your opponent can put 4 damage on it's pretty low.
Yep.
And at that point, especially with like the Krennic troopers that just keep respawning themselves,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes like an objective that usually has like 6 or 7 health minimum by the mid game, and sometimes just becomes outright unkillable.
Okay. So I guess it looks like Mick's again like building his board. He's got his text up. He's got his Guardian up. I'm looking at this and I see like 2 options for Colby's Join Me. It'll be really interesting to see when that shows up, if at all. Also,
Yeah,
can he get 6?
the good thing about Mick's board right now is that he has 2 good chuds instead of 1 good chud. So like let's say Colby were to steal the Guardian, he still can't attack. And I think Mick wants to play the long game anyways. So losing 1 guy to Join Me is not the end of the world. It's not great, but it's something you can live with.
Yeah.
The tactics would be an interesting steal. Like I think you steal the tactics if you want to attack, and just say I'm coming in with 1,000,000 black guns.
Yeah, and like and there it is. What do you think he's taking?
I think he takes the Guardian. just for the long-term value would be my guess. Yeah.
Yep, seems right.
Like you only take the other guy if you know you're going to attack this turn. If you think you're just going to sit back for a while, then you take the Guardian. Because also, like, he wants that Vader ping damage to matter.
Yeah. Do we think the Colby's actually going to make a push to turn off at least the Donna? Like, is Colby worried about edge battles? Because, like, he can't wait too long on... Because if Mick is ready for his attack and Colby's can't edge back, it's gonna be rough for him, especially with now tactics in 2 bomb units.
I think he'd like to attack. I think he just realistically can't. Because, like, you only have bombs on one guy. So you're in the spot where turning off one of those objectives doesn't get you to the point where you can win edge battles. Mm-hmm. So until you're able to turn both off, you might as well just leave them both on.
Okay, makes sense. Let's see.
Hey, there's some money. Money I know Mick wish he would have had earlier.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if that means it's going to be a slow turn and yet another turn where, slow turn from Mick, another turn where the dial gets to tick up. I think we're about to hit, we're hitting dial at 5 now? Dial's going to go to 6 after this turn?
Dial's at 4, it's going to go up to 6. So this is where the no callus thing really helps Mick, where because like the join me did kind of cut the legs out of his board, but he's going to have time to recuperate. You know, he's not stuck. But he's going to need mains also, because he only has 1 4-pipper out there. So if Colby, I mean, his deck has a Krennic in there, and you have to figure that's going to come out in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
So if Colby drops out a Krennic, I think that's the only other 3-pipper he has. He can realistically get up to 9, which means Mick's going to need to find 2 3-pippers, play them, and commit, or find a Yoda.
Or find Yoda, yep. Yeah,
I guess if Colby commits a 2-pip, because this is where it gets tricky. So if Colby doesn't commit a 2-pipper, right, and Mick plays a Yoda, and Mick goes commit Yoda, commit Luke, commit someone else, that's 10. Yeah, then at that point, I guess Colby just can't take the Force no matter what.
No, he's got the Dark Troopers.
Oh yeah, good point.
And Colby mentioned that he was going to value the Dark Troopers specifically in this matchup because it lets him actually put extra pressure on the Force after Yoda Luke 9. And so he can like 3-pip, 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 or realistically 4-pip, 2-pip, 3-pip, and then also tie the 9 and then force the extra pips from Mick with the Dark Troopers. Like Colby is actually at, what is that? That's 7 now. And so right now, even if he hits a 3, he still has to commit 2 dudes. Even if Mick hits a 3-pip, still has to commit 2 dudes.
Yeah.
And as soon as a 1 dot gets committed, like Mick might be in trouble just because Colby can turn around and play slow, especially if he hits Krennic.
Hey, so Mick definitely drew 3 resources off the top of the deck last turn because he played 2 and discarded a training grounds.
Wow.
He's actually getting much closer to desperately needing Yoda than I thought, because like looking at Colby's board, I think the only way that Mick is gonna come out ahead in a big engagement is he's gonna need to play I Will Not Fight, or not, what's it called? The one that steals a guy from Mission Luke.
Ah, yeah.
Like that's just gonna have to be
feelings or something.
It's I Will Not Fight. Use the one that lowers the amount of guys. Search Your Feelings is the one that steals a guy.
Yeah.
That's a Yoda or Winter. Hey, there he is. A Winter wouldn't even be that great. Like, Colby has so many guys on the board already that if you were to kill his resource, it doesn't do anything.
I mean, Colby only hit the 1 resource. And so,
Colby's already gotten the value out of it, right? Like, look at his board. At this point, if Colby has 4 money for the rest of the game, it doesn't matter. He already got all of his money out.
Okay.
Ooh. Redeem the fall.
Right now, Death Trooper and the Security Trooper in the discard is what we're seeing.
Yeah. I think the game plan for Mick, though, is kill something first, then redeem it.
Yeah. Maybe Vader Redemption.
Oh, yeah. That's obviously what he wants. Get the... Because I think it's specifically 4 pips or lower, right? That you can't ever redeem Palpy.
Right.
Now, I think Mick tapped his mana wrong, if I'm looking at this correctly. Because he could have said double tap the Dodonna resource and then pay 1 on a brown objective to play Yoda, use the other brown objective to play redeemed, and then tap the influence and the Dodonna objective to get the Chud to leave 1 red open.
Yeah, but he really wants to leave 1 Jedi open. Oh, that's not true. He's got infiltration. Oh no, did he pitch infiltration first? Is that what we saw?
I don't think he pitched it.
Okay. Yeah, being able to threaten infiltration is always good.
I think. Okay, Colby's playing BT. I think he probably missed his window. Like, he probably needed to wait until after, like, immediately after Yoda was played, say, I have an action, drop BT. Or is BT conflict phase only?
I think BT's conflict phase only.
Okay.
Yeah, conflict phase only.
So what's Colby's ceiling for dots? He has 7 right now. He can get up to 10 unless he has an extra Death Trooper.
Yeah, he can 10 now because he can commit BT and has the.
Well, BT gets him to 9.
No, you're right. Yeah,
he's running 2x of Dark Trooper project, so it's not crazy to think he could go. Oh no, he only has 4 money, but I'm thinking he could theoretically play a Krennic plus a Death Trooper, and that could get him to 11.
Oh, second joining.
Big sads. All right, he's out of Guardians now.
That's too bad. So I don't think Vader's dying. I've low odds Vader gets redeemed this round.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of how else you could do this. I guess if you were to steal Vader in an engagement and all the guns go on him, but it'd be really tricky to do that.
Yeah. And Colby, like, one of the things I know about Colby is Colby loves playing around stuff, especially the events in Heroes Duty.
Hey, there's a Death Trooper.
There's another one.
He still can't take the Force though.
Just speed 10.
Yeah. His ceiling right now is 10.
Is 10. Yeah, okay. All right, damage on Redeem the Fallen. Still no one redeem. I guess he can't redeem the Guardians. That'd be too bad. We'd love to have those back.
You can redeem 000. So if you can get 000 into a conflict, the Guardians can't protect them.
Yeah, but like 000 has no bombs. Like, you want to redeem BT1. I feel like you want to redeem BT1 before 000. At least in this mission, like, Dial's already at 7.
How does that feel? Like, he had the counter stroke in hand.
Oh.
I guess the BT would have made it irrelevant, even if he would have saved the brown money.
Yeah, but you're right. But perhaps the more efficient. No, but BT can only hit enhancements, right?
Now he just hits any resource generating card.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep.
In any case, Mick's still playing the slow game. Like, his game plan isn't in too much jeopardy outside of the Dial, because the Dial's already at 7.
Right.
So he's being put in a position where the only way he wins is there has to be one turn where he just goes bananas. And so that's probably going to be like the turn where he has both Dodonna and Dice. But just dealing with Vader's reaction is going to be really difficult.
Yeah, especially now with his what are they called? The Dodonna's Chuds. I forgot their names.
Yeah.
The Rebel Tacticians, like,
no Guardians, that's the problem.
Oh yeah, no Guardians. Again, like, flashbacks to how I lost my match. I definitely swung for the win, and then a single heat took out my Rebel Tactician, and then I couldn't get there. I won that game. I lost that game at 10 points because I had two objectives and 4 damage.
Yeah, I'm trying to like think of like what could Mick reasonably get, and I think every version of Mick winning revolves around the Ball and Luke event. Or the other way that Mick could win is if Colby just makes an irresponsible attack.
Yeah, but like I can't. I like even with. Oh man, I guess at some point it'd be nice to turn off um, Hero's Duty, but attacking is just so greedy for Colby. Like
Well,
Mick
attacking
has,
is how you get blown out.
yeah, Mick has three
I mean,
black
did Colby
tactics.
just take the force here? I think he did, right?
Yeah, 1, 2, 6, 9, 10, 11. He had 11.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's gonna hold the force um, until Mick can move a card somehow.
So this is where like committing the Mystic may have been a mistake. Because like he could have just committed Yoda and Luke to take the Force, but he wanted to hold it. So he played the Mystic as like insurance. Although the dice chud's pretty nice there. If he can also find a dice, that solves a number of problems.
Okay. Oh, and look who it is.
So now it's like the dice chud just being able to shove someone out of a conflict is pretty huge. It may be too little too late, because again, Dial's at 8. So like I think Mick has to take a shot here.
Yeah, my question is like, when does Mick have to attack? Can Mick wait a turn? Because before Krennic set up, Mick had 4 turns. So
he just signaled he's declaring an attack against Redeem the Fallen, and Colby has to choose blockers first. Also, Colby has like no edge because all of Colby's units are on the board. So the likelihood that any of his cards in hand have like dots period is very low.
Yeah.
So it's just a question of like, what's Colby going to defend this with? Because he doesn't have anything in the discard that I think he's scared of Mick stealing.
Right. Like, do you think he just lets him have it?
I think you either block with everything or block with like 1 or 2 chuds. Yeah. He's blocking with just the trooper. Like all of his heavy hitters are out of the picture.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because you still need to send something, right? Like you can't. Yeah, you have to be able to throw a heat in there so that way you get the Vader ping as well.
That's true. Yeah, Colby actually probably just has a handful of fake cards because no one's fought yet. And like Colby's.
As far as for what Mick sends, there's not like you're not stealing anything of relevance. So like blowing up the objective is not super important. Outside of the fact that it is an objective, like the reaction doesn't matter. I don't think you can send the Dodonna chuds because you don't have a leader. So what I would do if I were Mick is I would send the dice chud and then a little bit of tactics. Like I'd send dice chud, dice, and then it looks like Colby's thinking about sending more guys. Because if Colby just blocks with 1 dude, you send the dice chud in and then kick it out. So Colby can't throw edge cards.
Yeah. Which is actually really what Colby wants, is he wants to be able to edge cards.
Yeah. Because if let's say you send dice chud, what's called winter chud and dice, that's 2 blast. So you don't blow up the objective, which I think is okay, but you get 2 tactics out there.
Yeah.
Well, all of his force holders are elite, so that's not super helpful. I guess he could send Luke.
Yeah,
because he could have focused token on Vader.
Is it
because
really
maybe just blow it up at this point?
Yeah, I think it's important that he blows it up just so that he needs less attacks on future turns. It means he can send a decoy attack to make space and then find the other 2. Like he is bringing a lot of tactics. Like both boards represent a lot of tactics right now.
I don't like double focusing your first holder. Like I wonder if Mick's considering that if he kicks out the guy, Colby can't play fake cards. Like the way he's structuring this attack makes it seem like he thinks Colby can still play a heat.
Yeah, because like if you're no, he's bringing the rebel tacticians. So he knows.
Okay, so he's bringing everything but Luke and Yoda.
Yeah.
Okay, and he kicked him, so he's like, I'm making it rain tactics.
Yeah. Great.
Associator. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tactics. So you can overlock, say, Vader, and then overlock Childson, probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And steal something. I don't even know what you'd steal.
Death Trooper. It's got 3 health.
Maybe you steal
Security
a tactics.
Trooper has Security Trooper has the tactics.
Yeah.
Block with 9.
But I do think
Tactics
Vader is the guy you need to overlock, only because he's in faction, so you can't use the dice chud to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take the tactics that's in the discard, it allows you to have a much more imposing defense if you have 2 guys with tactics instead of just 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, the 1 guy with tactics can get burned by a heat and a Vader reaction, so you're gonna need like an additional tactics on top of it to make sure that you get your focus token through.
Okay, locking out Krennic.
So yeah, he's prioritizing Krennic, which I feel is wrong. Like, especially like, I'd rather get 000 than Krennic.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the 000 is in faction.
And has just as many tactics and more guns.
I guess the only reason to get Krennic out of the way would be because Krennic can be protected and 000 can't. Wait, did he? Oh, he didn't even blow it up. So I thought because he sent all of that, he was gonna pop it.
No, yeah, like he does. He actually just doesn't have more bombs. Like that's one of the things I'm always worried of. Like that's one of the things I was worried about is his bombs are on Luke and Yoda, who need to block. And then he found 1 on dice, and then he only found 2 bombs. Like that's just not enough. Like you're absolutely right that Dodonna needs to show up. Like when we were looking at Mick holding the Force and looking like he had like 4 turns to figure things out, waiting for Dodonna made a lot of sense because Dodonna would bring the bombs the way he needed, and then this just like needing to attack in became a problem.
Well, yeah, those Death Troopers are actually just kind of what's doing Mick in, right? Because like him feeling that
Troopers,
commit the chud is really like the root of the problems here. Because he needs to hold the Force. Although if Colby doesn't attack, which is conceivable that he just doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
If he doesn't attack at all, it allows Mick to hold the Force and blow up the objective.
Oh, intruder alarm on Redeem.
Yeah, I think Colby's attacking this turn. You don't play the security alarm on Redeem the Fallen unless you think you're taking Force back.
Yeah, so absolutely.
So yeah, like he's definitely thinking, I'm gonna go pop something, and at the very least, drop a focus token on Yoda, take the Force back, and then make it hard for Mick to win.
Yeah, I'm looking at an attack with fate cards just to get through whoever he blocks with. He probably still has to go with. Does he have to do this fight with 1 dude? To get around Search Your Feelings?
So Colby has the win on the board if he has a heat. So if, let's say, Colby attacks 000 at the top, right? And if he just goes 000 by himself, if Yoda blocks, you drop a heat, he dies. 000's tactics gets Luke, and then you have enough blast on everyone else to clean off the bottom 2 objectives.
Mm-hmm.
This attack that he's making right now makes a lot less sense unless Colby really, really has faith in his fate cards in hand.
So this has to be at a hero's duty, and now it looks like that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bombs. Assuming he wins the edge battle, which I'm pretty sure winning the edge battle is a challenge here, unless he's got his other Vader in hand.
That's just a bad attack. Because if Mick wins edge, like if Mick blocks and wins edge, then at that point, Colby can't win the game on this turn.
Yeah,
So
it looks to me like Kobe's not trying to win the game on this turn. This looks like he's just trying to turn off the. Ooh, yeah,
and this is
big block.
also a bad block by Mick. So this block should be Luke blocked by himself.
Huh. I'm guessing Colby puts in 2. I'm guessing that's Vader Heat. Heat by itself. Okay. No dots. Lose the edge battle.
Yep.
Heat Yoda, ping Yoda.
Yep. And that's why you don't block with Yoda. So if you only block Luke there, Luke lives.
Then,
Well, I mean, he
yeah.
would die at the end of it, but he would be able to get a strike off.
Yeah. 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 I didn't like
Because
that
now
block.
he's losing both guys.
Because he could have just not blocked there. He's like, you know what? I like can't like. That's almost just a not block. Because if he doesn't block there, can Colby take the force back? Because Colby didn't attack with any tactics.
Yeah, that was another thing. I thought for sure he would send something. Yeah, if he just doesn't block, objective's gone down, goes to 10. There's 4 blasts left on the board. So even if he throws the heat in there to put a ping on Yoda, Yoda could still block on a subsequent attack with Luke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Colby locked himself out of winning the game this turn, I think. So it probably not going to matter. I guess the big question for me is like, so now I think at this point, Colby definitely swings with the white tactics guys and just overlocks dice, overlocks the dice chud.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
just
that's
put in a spot where it's like you're gonna have to top deck a lot of blast.
Yeah.
And then maybe swing Moke at like the Dodonna objective to put 3 on it. I don't know.
Like, I guess Moke has health, but does he really want to block?
No. But yeah, that was a bad sequence. We'll have to remember to ask him about this afterwards.
Yeah.
On like why Colby made his attack the way he made and why Mick like because Mick made like the worst block he could there.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to one of the lessons I learned from our last match is sometimes you just don't want to block. Like I lost the game because I blocked the first attack and I got infiltrated and then suddenly I was behind.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like you do kind of want to block just because you don't want to give Colby the objective. Because like the thing about blocking there is blocking if you win edge means Colby can't win the game this turn because he attacked incorrectly. So having that guaranteed next turn is nice, but you could just block with Luke.
Yeah.
And then the strike goes on. Actually, the Luke strike